It's time to talk about the Mitsurugi theme. You guys smash the link, crap out of that, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So they just dumped the Mitsurugi theme on us at the end of the stream for literally no reason whatsoever, which is so crazy because they're like, oh yeah, we're not even going to talk about these cards. You guys can make your own thoughts and opinions on this. And it is a Ritual Beast theme, so, you know, maybe not the greatest thing in the world. So Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi. And this is going to be a reptile? Okay, sure. So I guess this interacts with Edio. So if this card is normal or special, or if this card is tributed, you can target one Mitsurugi card in your graveyard or banish him, except for this card, and add it to your hand. If another reptile monster or monsters you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute this card instead. You can only use each effect of Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi once per turn. So we have literally the ability to pull back any, you target any Mitsurugi, so this recurs back in-house. If another reptile would go boom, this has a protection effect for those on a 1600. I don't think that's necessarily like the worst thing in the world, but I'm happy to see that, like, at least if you're tributing this off, you are getting some recurability back. And for the theme, I can't imagine that that's going to be too bad out here. I guess also, if this card is tributed, you can also tribute this to protect, and it will trigger the other effect. I didn't think about that. Okay, that does work. Then we have Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji. This is going to be a 1,1700 on another reptile monster. So if this card is normal or special summon, or if this card is tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. If another reptile monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can tribute this card instead. You can only use each effect of Mitsurugi no Mikoto Sanji once per turn. So once again, same thing as the first one. We can roll this one out as a nice little protector out here, and then we contribute the ability to get a spell and trap. So technically, this can get you 2 spells and traps depending on how things are passively working with this. Also, these stats aren't necessarily the greatest. I guess. And there's also no reason to like dump these into the graveyard with Snake's Reign just off of these 2 cards. Like, if there was a little bit more of an interaction there, I'm sure we could get somewhere. Snake's Reign's always like the first thing that the brain triggers to, because they hear reptiles like, Mill 4? Oh my gosh, that's got to be insane, right? No, because with what you're working with in terms of the theme, you're going to have a little bit more limited pieces. Also, both of these 2 cards starting off relatively low rarity, which is actually kind of cool. I'm really hoping that this theme actually kind of holds on and actually gets some actual good support out here. Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. This is freaking sick, and it's a level 8. So we can ritual summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. If this card is special summon, you destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Okay, so free board wipe. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can activate this effect. Your opponent can discard 1 card, or that effect is negated. Okay, so it turns them into being forced to discard a card, or it negates. Okay, is that a... Oh, I hope that's limited once per turn. If this card is tributed, you can add 1 Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except for the copy of itself. Then you can special summon this. Wait, what? Whoa. If this card is tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except for a Mitsurugi. Then you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Ame no Murakumo Mitsurugi once per turn. So if I tribute this for a ritual summon, this thing comes on back, and then we're good to go. And then technically, that would see a special summon, so that would board wipe my opponent. Huh? That's pretty good, actually. Like, you get a free board wipe. If it survives into the next turn, you can board wipe your opponent again by ritual summoning over it. If the other thing... I'm assuming that the other ritual is going to be level 8, but this is a pretty gosh darn good ultra rare. Like, I thank you, Konami. I actually appreciate this support. That one's really good. And then we have Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi. This is going to be another reptile. This one's 2,000, but this thing has an ass. This is 3,400 defense. So we can ritual summon this card with the Mitsurugi Ritual. If your opponent special summons a monster, except during damage step, you can target 1 reptile monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So we get if your opponent gets a special summon, we get a free float back. I guess that's not terrible. Into one of the other guys for protection. And then you can only activate this effect of this once per... Hold on. Does that say once per chain? This says once per chain. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see you. All right. All right. I like that. If this card is distributed, you can add one Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except for this card, and then you can special summon this card. I also like this is like some actual like anti-craziness out here with this. Okay. I really, really, really love this theme, man. Like, the fact that if your opponent tributes these, and it's just not by a card effect, but literally just says if your opponent tributes these freaking things float on back out here. So now your opponent has like 9,000 problems that they're gonna have to deal with these. And it's kind of cool to see for an in-house ritual theme that, you know, like Drytron, who's already feeding off of the tributes, you're getting places with this. Mitsurugi Prayers. This is a quick play. So when you activate this card, you can also tribute a reptile monster from your hand or field and apply one of these effects. Or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can apply both. Okay, so we can add a Mitsurugi monster from our deck to our hand, literally any of them. And then we can take 800 damage and special summon a Mitsurugi monster from our hand or graveyard, but it cannot attack directly this turn. So, what is this? This is pay a free 800 and then immediately special summon what we, put the body on the field. Sure, I'll take that. I'll take a free literal continue on with the play line and go. I mean, if not, it's just an add one, then you can normal it. But the point of this is depending on how you open up the hand, you can kind of structure things a little bit differently so you can, you know, try to build the board. This deck feels like it needs a little bit more already. You know, for the baseline of support, I'm hoping that we actually get something a little bit stronger with this. But the fact that they've already made cards that let you tribute and allow you some extension lines, I can actually get behind. That's really, really cool, actually. And then we have the Mitsurugi Ritual. Okay. So this is going to be the big thing to make the world go round. So this card can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual monster. Well, I'm glad that we have now future-proofed any crazy ritual for reptiles we're ever going to have. But, you activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this once per turn. So we can ritual summon one reptile monster from your deck by tributing reptile monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal the level of the ritual monster. Okay, we're learning here. We're finally getting rituals from the deck. Or we can ritual summon a ritual monster reptile from the hand by tributing two reptile monsters from our hand deck or field whose total levels equal level of the ritual monster. Excuse me. So we can have the ritual in hand, and then we can tribute two from the deck, which just a guess is on. This shit's kind of good. I'm gonna say it. Like, they actually did us a pretty solid favor with this. Like, this theme actually is pretty cool, Konami. You actually did it. And then, of course, we have the Mitsurugi Great Purification. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you tribute a level 5 or higher reptile monster. Negate that effect. And if you destroy that card, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one reptile monster in your graveyard. And so, if you do, tribute one other monster you control. You can only use one Mitsurugi Great Purification effect once per turn, and only once that turn. I'm really glad that that limitation's on there, because holy shit, we would have gotten off to some craziness. If I could tribute, bring back the ritual, by the way, because it was tributed, by the way, and then I get the ability to banish this and revive a reptile. Like, by the way, this brings back any reptile, so this is now completely generic. All right, so Foolish Burial Goods, here we come. All right, I literally cannot wait to try to do this. The fact that this is generic, is this alien support? I mean, I guess technically, but this is freaking awesome. I love this. I can't wait to experiment around with this. Good stuff, Konami. You actually did something really, really cool. So what do you guys actually think? Also, you know, this works with the Primite engine, by the way, because Alien Shock Trooper does in fact exist. So please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.